When Jama Hedgecoth was a little girl, she asked her dad, "Could I have a dog for a pet?" He said no. He had a good reason, but it wasn't good enough for her. Jama, you have an incredible place here. Tell me when this whole dream started.
Well, when I was about 4 years old is the first time I remember telling my parents that when I grew up, that I was going to have all of the animals that didn't have a home. We were in a revival, my daddy being a preacher, and I wanted to collect up animals, and they would tell me no, and I didn't like the word no. And so I put my hands on my hips, and I told them, I said, you know, one day I'm going to have a place with all the animals that don't have a home.
She has realized her dreams at Noah's Ark in Locust Grove, Georgia. Since 1990, this place has been a refuge for 1,000 animals and 305 foster children. The children are assigned by the courts, and some come from very unlikely places.
Then the children would come from the street. We took children from behind dumpsters because we collected a lot of our food from dumpsters in order to feed our animal family. And there would be children in sleeping bags, and they would be laying in cardboard boxes, and so we'd bring them home with us. So the children just came.
Most of the children have heartbreaking stories to tell. Jama recalls one 13-year-old girl who was abandoned by her mother and abused by her father. You have some very special stories about some of those children.
Yes.
Tell me one that might have just touched your heart the most.
Well, we got 305 kids coming in.
No, and you know everyone.
Probably one of the teenagers that came in that she had been abandoned when she was 3 months old. Her mother left her in a crib and went to work and never came back and left a bottle in her bed. And when I got her, she was 13. And the abuse that she went through with her biological father, from the cigarette burns to the choking to the a lot of not just physical but sexual abuse. And when she got to us, she was very angry, she was very mad, and she would be helping us feed the animals. She related with them very well. And one morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, because we have a lot of babies to feed in the spring, and she was standing at the counter, and she had a little basket of squirrels, and she was holding the bottle, and the little squirrels were eating, and she began to cry. And I looked at her and I said, "Baby, what's wrong?" She said, "You know what, Mama? If my mama would have loved me enough just to keep me, just think where I would be today." She said, "You take in squirrels and we feed them like they're our babies." I said, "They are our babies." And I said, "You know what? One day you're going to learn to love the way your mother should have taught you to love." And I said, "You know what's the most important thing? You got to forgive her. You got to forgive your mama for you to go on." And do you know, after about 2 years, she was able to forgive her mama. And we don't know where her mama's at, and she's grown up, and she's married now. But just a wonderful young lady, a wonderful young lady.